The 49ers offense was explosive on Sunday during their 37-34 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to get into all of that tonight on the 49ers Film Review with Jack Hammer. Hey everybody, it's Jack Hammer here. I cover the 49ers for the Santa Rosa Press Democrat. And as always on Tuesday, it is time for the 49ers Film Review. Hope everybody is having a good start to the week. Just want to start off by saying prayers are with everybody involved with the situation that took place yesterday with the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. The players directly involved, especially the news sounds like it's been positive as far as what was reported, has been reported today. Make sure you're getting over there and checking out the GoFundMe page and try to donate to that if you have the means. Otherwise, just keep everybody involved in your thoughts and prayers. It's a tough deal for everybody out there that was a part of that, especially those players that were on the field and the coaches as well. So keep them in your mind. Just want to get into this. There's a few folks that we're going to shout out a few things before we get started. We have the 49ers Experience comes in. He says, I really do enjoy the film reviews. No one else does that. I watch Grant, Rob, Jesse, and Kruger keep kicking tail, Jack, hammer down. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We have Black 59 Razor says, hello, Jack. We have Blind Tom who says, Happy New Year, big guy. Happy New Year to you too, Blind Tom. Blind Tom is a member of the Toolbox. That's why he has a $sign next to his name. And you look at this game for the 49ers against the Raiders, a number of explosive plays, a lot of positives. There were some negatives. Kyle Shanahan talked about that a little bit yesterday during his conference call with the reporters, talking about some of the misses that Brock Purdy had on Sunday. So we'll get into that as this thing goes along. You'll see some of the negative stuff, especially early on. There's going to be some of those that will come back to those same plays later on in the game as well. So going to be a lot of fun. And let's get into it. Let me pull it up. Let me get this one off the screen. Let me pull it up. Get my big face off the screen. Get you guys onto the film review. And there we go. 49ers offense touching the ball for the first time, down 7-0, and they're going to open up in 21 personnel. They ran a lot of 21 personnel, really good out of it this week. And they're going to come out here with a nice run to the outside on the right. You get a really good blocking to the edge and a really nice cut by Christian McCaffrey here. Now, when we watch it from this, watch the block of number 69, the big right tackle. Mike McGlinchey gets out there. He drives the man up. There you go. Boom. It's all nice block down, and then you get the nice kick out from McGlinchey and a good read by Christian McCaffrey to turn that up. Really quick, just want to shout out Tommy Chang. He says, just found your channel and really appreciate your breakdowns. Can you comment on whether you see Purdy getting better, staying about the same, or regressing? Real quick, before we even started, I will say that I see him. I think he's about the same. I don't know if I would say regressing, but I think he's playing at about the same level as he has been all along. The difference that we see in him is that he's going to he keeps getting put in different situations, and that's the positive. And every question that's been asked of him, every situation people want to see him in, he keeps answering those questions in the positive. Harold McAllister says, what up, Jack? What up, Harold? Good to have you on board, along with Hassan West as well. So one play in, we get a nice 11-yard gain out of Christian McCaffrey. Let's keep this rolling. 1st and 10 now, and still in 21 personnel. They have Kyle Juszczyk down here in the bottom. And this is a nice little change of pace for what the 49ers have been doing of late. We've seen the 49ers where they send this man in motion across the formation, and then they run it to the outside. This is similar to the play that, if you go back to the play that Deebo Samuel was injured on, remember that was supposed to have been an outside run, but he cut it up inside. They've changed that around in this game. It's a nice little change up. It all looks the same as what they normally run outside, but because of the formation, what they're facing here, they start to cut it up inside. See the block, the guy's going out. Now that the kick comes a little bit earlier, Nice cut by McCaffrey, good blocking upfield, and a nice gain of 5. That's a little changeup that we're going to see in this game a few different times on runs from McCaffrey to the outside. So still second and 5, still in 21 personnel. They really did a good job of that here to start off with. Really nice job by Brock Purdy here to escape, showing the ability to move. This is the thing that excites me most about Brock Purdy. You look at what Jimmy Garoppolo was doing for the 49ers and some of the things that I don't know if there's a great deal of difference between the way that Jimmy Garoppolo plays quarterback position and the way that Brock Purdy plays it, other than plays like this. You get an unblocked man off the edge. Nobody blocks Crosby. They're bringing pressure. There's a breakdown in pressure from in the protection from the 49ers. You get a free rusher in Crosby, and this is the difference, that ability to escape. And not only does he escape, but he actually gets good separation away from Crosby as he starts out to his right. We'll see that better from the end zone view. But if looking at it, they're going to bring 5. The 49ers have 5 in protection. They should be able to pick this up. I think what happens here is 74 turns down. Excuse me. Yeah, he's stepping out, and what happens is their protection is sliding left in terms of 65 and 64. They had to turn this thing to the right side. It's a blown protection call because they've got more guys coming than they should. Leaves this guy coming free, and watch the move by Purdy here. Not only does he get away, but look at the separation he gets from Crosby, and a nice little throw underneath to George Kittle for a gain of 6 and move the chains. 1st and 10 now, 4th play of the game, still in 21 personnel. This is the motion, the fullback out all the way down here to the bottom of the screen in Kyle Juszczyk, and they have the matchup they want with Brandon Ayuk, and he just gets tripped up a little bit by the DB. And as he's tripped, it's a really good ball from Purdy. Should be a completion. Even with the trip, the ball hits 11 in the hands as he's going to the ground, Ayuk. But you see the trip right there, just off balance a little bit, and so the throw falls incomplete as a result of that. That little bit of they crossed up each other right there. So really quick, just to answer a question. So Chris Burns wants to know, what does 21 personnel mean? That's a really good question. So let me pull it up. Let me go back to keep it right where it is. Let's go back just a little bit. Right. Sorry, I'm trying to get there. So Chris wants to know what 21 personnel means. So okay, so what it means is let me get this off of the screen as well. I'm going to take your comment off, but we're going to hit it. So what does 21 personnel mean? So when you hear about personnel groups, what you hear is the first number in a personnel grouping is the number of running backs that are on the field. The second number that you hear is the number of tight ends that are on the field. So right now the 49ers have 2 running backs. They have Kyle Juszczyk up here, who's starting to motion down to the outside. And they have next to him, they had Christian McCaffrey. So there's 2 backs in the formation, 2 backs on the field. And they have 1 tight end. They have George Kittle at the right. He's off the line of scrimmage, though, at the top of the screen. So that's 21 personnel. 49ers run a lot of 21 personnel. They do a lot of 11 personnel as well. So 11, same kind of concept, 1 back, 1 tight end. When the 49ers get into third down situations, and sometimes most of the time in the red zone, you're going to see them in 11 personnel a lot. And then the other one that they really like to use is 12 personnel. So 1 back, 2 tight ends. When they have Kyle Juszczyk on the field, they're in 21 personnel, but they're able to use it interchangeably a little bit like 12 personnel because of Juszczyk's abilities. So there you go. Hope that answered your question and was clear. So this was the missed throw to Ayuk. We'll just let it run really quick. We already talked about this one, but it's there, and Purdy sees it, and he's putting it on him. Just that little bit of a trip, where that's a big play for the 49ers to open up right there. So 2nd and 10 is going to be coming up next after this drop, and they're going to be in 21 personnel. The 49ers were in 21 and 11, having a lot of success in this first possession. So here we go, 2nd and 10, and this is going to be a completion to Christian McCaffrey. He's going to end up checking it down over the middle to McCaffrey. The deep throw's not open, does a good job checking it down over the middle. McCaffrey with it with a nice little gain there for a gain of 7 to set up a short 3rd and 3. So good protection, though. Watch the protection up front. The offensive line for the 49ers is very underrated. These guys have done a very good job all year long. Seeing Clell and Farrell out there trying to play pass rusher and also dropping in the coverage, that's just a mismatch for the 49ers that they take advantage of again later on. But I like this play. This is a big one. This is the 49ers' first big explosive play of the game. So talked about it just a minute ago. When the 49ers get into 3rd down, they like to go into 11 personnel. It's almost exclusive on 3rd down that they'll go into 11. So it's 3rd and 3. You see the 49ers with one back in the backfield right here on the right side, right on the end of the line of scrimmage. That's George Kittle. They've got the 3 receivers around them. The Raiders are showing pressure, and that pressure is going to play to the 49ers' advantage. They're going to get a motion before the snap, which is going to – so the Raiders are in man coverage. You get the motion across. So look at all that pressure. Look at all the motion. Look at the bubble that's formed because of this man coverage out there between Max Crosby and the next defender in. There's a big gap out there to the right side, and the 49ers are going to run it right there with just a little guard power play. Everybody on the right side blocks down. The left guard pulls, kicks out the end. It's the same thing as a power, except for they don't have a fullback leading up on it, but we'll get a really good view of it here on the end zone view. So watch 69, 74. They're gonna block down. You're gonna get 65 from the backside. Is going to come here and kick out over on the right side. And then because the Raiders are showing pressure, and so they have a deep defensive back and a linebacker at the line of scrimmage right here. That helps this play to be big because they don't have, because of their being up close, even though they start to fall back, they get caught in the wash, and so they're not able to scrape over and help. And that's part of why you have this explosive play for Christian McCaffrey. So watch this. You see there's the down. Everybody's blocking down. Even the tight end is blocking down. Everybody's going down. They're taking everybody with them. Look at that. And now they've manned up on George Kittle. He's running down with them as well. There's Kittle to the linebacker. There's Banks on the end. Look at the hole there. There's nobody to touch him. And he's just off to the races, and he just can't beat the safety who has an angle on him. Does a good job of getting him down at the very end of this play. But just a nice little power concept out of single formation, like that little step by 85, that outside step that he makes before he goes in. Because watch 85, everybody on this right side is crashing down. That little outside step that Kittle makes, the nice part, what that does is that keeps Crosby outside. That helps create the lane that they're going to run up into as well. Helps make it a little bit easier of a block for Aaron Banks. It just keeps it so it's not so congested. Really like that false step that he gives them to the outside before coming down. All really good stuff, and a really nice big run for Christian McCaffrey there. So then they get down here, 1st and goal, in 11 personnel. You can see it really good here. You see Juwan Jennings and Ray McLeod to the bottom of the screen. At the top of the screen is Brandon Ayuk. You have the one tight end in George Kittle on the right side, and then the single back is Jordan Mason, everybody's favorite running back. And they're going to give it to him right here on a run to the left. And George Kittle gets beat, and that's where the tackle comes from. George Kittle, the Crosby gets across his face and is able to chase it down from the backside. He just runs right to it. Watch, he's going to get right across the face. It's a little bit of a tough block because he's inside. The Kittle's not able to get his head across, and so Crosby's able to chase that thing down and make the tackle for a loss of 1. And then 2nd and 1 here, second and goal from the 1. Still 11 personnel, and the 49ers are going to line up in basically the same formation, showing a really strong run look here. Their zone run scheme look is what that looks like from the for the defense. And then it's just hit your back foot, and you've got them wide open, put it on them. Really nice play. Really nice design. And the other thing too about this is if you've watched some of my shows lately, I told you that one of the reasons that you don't see a lot of Jordan Mason on the field throughout the course of the game is because of I think there's some questions about what he can do in pass protection. He's primarily a runner when he does get onto the field. You just saw the Raiders sell out on that 1st down play to get to him. So Kyle Shanahan takes advantage of it right here with a play action making it look like zone. And when I say it's zone, it's because you're going to see the linemen are going to the right just a little bit. And the reason also I say it's zone is because typically when they run zone to the right, you have that tight end who's out there, or a fullback that comes blocking backside. So that's kind of why you have that zone look. You see all the offensive linemen moving to the right like they're zone blocking, even though they're just going straight down the line. It's a really nice play design. It's a really nice play action throw, and it just sticks it right on him. So a really nice opening drive for the 49ers, and really nice response to the opening touchdown of the Raiders. They just go right back down the field themselves. That was the first time the 49ers had been behind in a game with Brock Purdy as the quarterback since he took over. When he stepped into the game against Miami, that was the last time they'd been behind. So we're going to open up the next possession. 21 personnel again. It's a good throw. It's a good read. He's trying to he's reading the right side, and he's got basically what he's looking at here. Out here to the right is he has the underneath little curl route by Christian McCaffrey with a route from Brandon Ayuk. And this is, I think, this is a good one. The only reason that the receiver comes open behind it is because the linebacker is driving on the underneath route. But it's going to the right spot, just coming out quick. And the defender is able to get up and knock the ball down, number 93. See it from the end zone here. But he decides that he wants to work the right side, and then it's going to come out of his hand really, really quick, and just a good job of 93 to get his arm up. 2nd and 10, still in 21 personnel, and they're going to run zone to the left here against the outside zone. Just a really nice blocking, really opens up the hole. The 49ers have really gotten their run game going in these last 3 weeks or so. You look back at their numbers, and they've been really strong in the run game over the last 3 to 4 weeks. Just a nice little outside zone. You see him find it, finds the seam, and cuts it up for a nice gain of 9. So that brings us to 3rd and 1. 3rd down and 3rd and short here. So they're going to be in 12 personnel, a little bit of a change up for them. And they're just going to run it's an inside run over the left guard. Again, it's kind of an inside zone run. Opens up backside, and he sticks it up in there. See, they're running zone there. You see everybody blocking to the right, gets going to the right, and then the hole opens up on the backside, and he cuts it up underneath. So they get the first down. 1st and 10, still in 12 personnel, and they're going to run this thing. They're going to run a toss out here to the left side out of this tight formation. And on this one, I think this is really what they're running. They're running toss. They're running toss to get into their outside zone scheme. And my takeaway on this one when I was looking at it is it just seems like we're going to see Christian McCaffrey overrun this just a little bit. He kind of gets himself going a little too far outside. He needs to be cutting this thing back. He's not going to get to the edge. The defensive end has set the edge. So this thing needs to be cut back. And if he had cut it back a step sooner, you can see the running lane there. He just kind of got caught just a little bit long. And then when he cuts back, he runs right into the offensive lineman. It's not on the line's fault on that one. That's the running back just kind of getting caught in no man's land on this toss a little bit. He's wanting to push that edge before he cuts it back. If he cut that thing, look at the gap. If he cut it just back a little bit sooner, because that's where he wants to go. He's trying to get this thing back in here behind 65 and 74 and 69 and 64. He's just not able to get over far enough because kind of got carried a little bit too far outside before he decided to plant and go. So 2nd and 12 to open up the second half, and they're going to be second quarter, 49ers are in 21 formation. This is Kyle Juszczyk going in motion. I'm going to stop it here just for a second because what I want to do is this is again, going back to what Kyle Shanahan said where there were some misses. This is one of those examples of a play where there's a miss. It's going to be a completion, but there's a miss, and I'll show you where it is. We'll look at it twice from this angle. They're going to run their deep curl routes from the outside. He doesn't like what he sees from either one of them, and he checks it down to George Kittle for a gain of 6. Now, the miss comes because he has the curl open. He got either one of them. He's looking to the left side more, though. He's not. You see his head down the middle early because he's trying to hold the linebackers in there. He wants to keep that linebacker down the middle, but he has Juwan Jennings open. There's a big gap. Look at the gap. There's about 5. There's nobody to the inside of Jennings. I understand he's running the curl out, but it's wide open up here at the top of the screen at the 50. There's a nice gap there between the corner and Jennings. I just think this is a miss on his part, and he doesn't like what he sees there, so he checks it down. But if that ball had come out on time, it would have been a completion. We'll get back to this one later on because they come back to that play in a very similar situation in the second half. So remember, 2nd and 12, he had the deep curl to Juwan Jennings, and instead he checked it down to George Kittle for a gain of 6. We'll see that early in the third quarter, about midway through it actually. But anyway, it's nice in that they get a gain of 6, and now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Kind of helps them out, so it's not 3rd and as long. 3rd and 6, 11 personnel for them, and he's going to go to George Kittle here, who just gets mauled. He's going to the right spot. There's not a whole lot open anywhere else. He's going to the right location, and gets the PI called down here. Let's look at it at the top of it. Right now, the other 3 receivers aren't open. You have Juwan Jennings kind of coming through, but he's not open at this point. He's going to come open right there, which would be kind of a little bit of a tough pass for him maybe. But you get the pass interference call, so you get a first down, move the sticks. Now you're across midfield. Don't mind this one. I think this is a solid play for Purdy. Good protection up front again. Has plenty of time to sit in there and make the throw. And there's the break. Now it's 1st and 10. They're still in. They're in 12 formation now, and this is going to be play action. This is another miss. Here comes the motion for Brandon Ayuk. Play action, and he's going to throw this thing out here to Ayuk, but he misses George Kittle. He has George Kittle wide open on an over route. Watch George Kittle run across the middle. Off of play action, there's nobody there. Look at that. There's 7 yards he's 7 yards behind the linebacker with space. It's a little bit of a layered throw, but it's not a throw that you wouldn't expect to be made. Instead, he works to the backside to Brandon Ayuk, and he really gets a break here because watching this live, I didn't think it was pass interference. It looked to me like it was more a receiver and a defensive back who just get their feet tied up, and that's why he goes down. But you're going to see that called more often than not. But he has George Kittle here for a big one if he'd hit him. This is a big play for Kittle that doesn't happen because the quarterback doesn't throw it to him. Black 59 Razor says Jimmy would have hit that play with his eyes closed. Well, that's a play that's very similar to the throw that Jimmy Garoppolo made in 2019 against Arizona. Greg T says, Jack, do you think Purdy gets more pass attempts than Jimmy does? I was just wondering. No, I don't think so. I think if I was to go and look at their numbers, I bet you the pass attempts per game are pretty close. Some of it's game dependent, but and situational, right? But I don't think that the pass attempts for Purdy is more than Garoppolo. I think they're pretty similar. The biggest difference really is that Purdy has been able to hit his deep throws at a higher rate than Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, pass interference. If you meant pass interference, I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo had a few, but I probably. I mean, without looking it up, my eye test says that there is yes. That the answer to that question would be yes, because they are when you try to push the ball down the field and you're forcing DBs to make plays, you're going to get those calls sometimes. So, yeah, I see where you're going with that one, Greg, and I don't disagree with you on it. He probably does get a few more. It'd be interesting to take a look at the numbers there if I could. Yeah, he had Kittle, just missed him, but that's okay. So they're going to score a touchdown on this drive. That's one of the things that I always used to say when I was doing my film breakdowns on Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Is let's see how it's a miss, but they end up scoring a touchdown. So even though he misses it there, it all works out for the offense. But it was a miss. 1st and 10, they're in 12 here, and they're going to run outside. It's a really nice play by the cornerback. He's unblocked and is able to come out. You'll see him watch 21 out here as the play rolls through. It's pretty well blocked. They have a good job of getting the edge set, but really nice play by 21 to chop it up. So it probably would have been a game of a couple if 21 doesn't make that really nice play. Instead, you get a loss of 1. So now it's 2nd and 11. You get a draw here to McCaffrey for a gain of 6. And that's the play where Aaron Banks goes down. Watch Aaron Banks right here. Let's see what happens to him. Let's see where he gets hurt. Oh, right there. See the Raiders player coming across? Snipes him down. That's a tough one right there. No chance of seeing that coming. No way to defend himself. That's where offensive linemen usually get hurt. Somebody falling across their legs. And watch this one. 59 sliding off the tackle. Whips him right across. And that's a tough one. Players will be without their left guard for a week or two. That's a tough break for Aaron Banks and the 49ers. Now they have 3rd and 4, and they're in 11 personnel here on third and 4. Just a little delayed route to McCaffrey. He's looking down the field. His check down is McCaffrey. McCaffrey's blocking, help him set at the edge. Boom, and now release. If you want to get nitpicky with this one, you could say he has Ray McLeod on the curl at the 20. But I'm not going to get nitpicky. I'm going to say this is a nice completion. You pick up the 1st down. This is where Christian McCaffrey is such a big piece of the 49ers puzzle. The quarterbacks don't try to push the ball down the field all the time. They can take these checkdowns and move the sticks and live to play the next down. I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing Jimmy Garoppolo with his interception percentage dropping as much as it was. Jimmy Garoppolo had 4 interceptions this year, and it just so happens that Brock Purdy has 4 too in 5 games. 6 games. You got because the one happened against Kansas City, so 6. So you get the little check down there, 1st and 10. Trying to take the deep shot to the left side there, and they have the running back is Jordan Mason, so they're actually breaking tendency with Mason again here by throwing the ball, but this time doing it out of a more wide open set. Notice they're not asking him to pass protect; instead they're asking him to go deep. Comes off of it, hits the check down to George Kittle for a gain of 9. That is the longest completion of the first half for Brock Purdy. But he's just not there, so he brings it down, and a nice little run after the catch by 85. 2nd and 1, 21 personnel for the 49ers here, and you're going to get a run right up the gut from 44. Watch Kyle Juszczyk. Good blocking, runs right past 98, gets to the 2nd level, and nice gain by the fullback. Give him the ball more. He deserves it. He's a really nice piece of to what they do. It's one of the reasons why they are so good out of 21 personnel is because they can get him on the field and they can run all of their 12 personnel stuff out of 21 personnel. Meaning they can do everything that they would do with 2 tight ends on the field with Kyle Juszczyk out there, and it's one of the things that makes them so tough to defend when that group is on the field. First and goal, going to run a little zone here to the left. Nice cut. That's a really nice. That's a pretty cut by McCaffrey, because that guy got there. That guy was in his face in a hurry, and you see him stop on a dime and be able to accelerate back up through. This is a really nice run by McCaffrey. Because Burford's beat. Burford's just trying to run that guy through, and that's a really nice play by McCaffrey to keep that play alive and pick up 5 yards. That guy had gotten across the face of 74. Pretty good. 2nd and 1, and they're going to try to run it over the left guard zone again, and you just get a pile, and that creates a free a lane for the defender to get through, and the linebacker shoots it. It's a really nice play by the linebacker. Nice penetration by the Raiders as well. Again, watch the penetration. It's going to take away. Foreigners are kind of trying to run a little bit of a zone, which is tough to do. It's tough to run zone when you're down in this situation because it's hard to get across those guys' face. The Raiders basically just submarine this thing to take out all that backside push, and look at the hole that it creates for 59, and he runs right through the alley and makes the tackle. That's a really tough play. That's why one of the reasons why it's so hard to run zone down in the red zone. You just don't have enough space. And on top of that, with this one, you watch the Raiders, and they just basically submarine the middle of the 49ers offensive line, and you get a free runner from the linebacker for the tackle for a loss of 1. So you get 3rd and goal. Since it's 3rd and goal, the 49ers are going to open everything up, try to widen you out. Little bit of pressure out here off the right, and Purdy bails, and this is a really nice throw to the back of the end zone. Very similar to the completion from Garoppolo to Kittle down in Los Angeles against the Rams. Totally different play, but the throw, getting it up and over underneath defenders to the tight end coming across. He has a little bit more room to work too, but that's a really nice throw by Brock Purdy. Nice escape to build a slide to his left, get his hips turned around, and put a really nice ball on George Kittle for the touchdown. Over the top, boom. There you go. I'm going to let these next few run through. We'll talk about it real quick, but they're down here at the goal line. And you get the false start by Trent Williams to open it up. Hit that like button. Thank you, Black 59 Razor. That movement by the Raiders defender makes 71 jump. That almost could have gone the other direction. If he'd gone more across the line, that would have been a better one. But that motion from the defender is what drew him off. So it's not a big loss because they're already at the 2, so they just lose a yard. 1st and 11, you get a gain of 4 here from Christian McCaffrey. Nice little push. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Out of 2nd and 7 here, they run the little fullback dive to Kyle Juszczyk, who busts this thing inside for a gain of 5, but you have the hold on Trent Williams that brings it back. So pulls you back. So now you're at 2nd and 9, and they're going to go to 22 formation and run this thing right up the gut with Christian McCaffrey, who picks up a nice little gain of 4. So it's going to set them up with a 3rd and 5. Here on 3rd and 5, you're going to see them in 11 personnel like they usually are. There's just nothing open downfield, and he's gonna. This is a tight one. It's almost intentional grounding in the end zone for a safety. He barely gets outside the tackle box. This is an easier one to see from the end zone. Just know where to go with the ball. But before we start, as they're lined up, if you look where the tackle is right now, he's right in the middle of the field, and so that's what the offensive or the referees are looking at back there. That's giving them an idea of where that tackle box is. That pressure's coming, and Purdy gets just to the other side of it and gets the ball away. He's probably about a yard outside of the box. It's not extremely close, but it was enough to where it's you're running right on the edge there. And then they're just going to kneel it down here. Going to the second half. Only 38 yards passing for Brock Purdy in the first half. He had a couple of throws that were missed. The PIs helped him out. You don't get those penalty yards on the pass interference, the 25 yards of pass interference throws that he had. But the offense is doing a good job. It's a 17-14 game here. Opening up the second half, and they're going to be in 12 personnel. They're going to run toss to the left and pick up 4. You don't get to that one secondary player. He's able to get a free run across. So it looks like I think it's going to be number 30 that's going to be able to run up through here and get this. Yeah, it's a nice job stepping up underneath and coming over. Good play by the safety there to hold that to a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, 49ers are in 21 here, and this is going to be a miss from. I labeled this as a miss for Brock Purdy. Just a little out route to the left side. We saw him miss this throw in Seattle as well. And it's not a big play in terms of, it's not like they're going to get a massive amount of yards on this miss, but because of this miss, instead of it being 3rd and short, you're now left with 3rd and 6. So, this would have been probably a 5-yard completion out here to the left side to McCaffrey that he misses. And then, so that's going to impact the next play. This is one bad play impacting the next. Just a bad throw. Guys are going to miss throws sometimes, but those little underneath throws, those are the ones that you got to you have. Those have to be automatic. He's just a little off on that one, but we've seen him miss that one high now a couple of times in recent weeks. He has some pressure coming off the right side. I'm not sure why he's fallen back as much as he is there. And then 3rd and 6. You have the check down here to McCaffrey, and this is, you get pressure in his face. You got to get the ball out. There's not enough time for him to go anywhere else. So he's going hot out here to McCaffrey. It's just not a good throw. The ball's behind him. Basically throws him into the tackle. The ball's a little bit behind him. You'll see McCaffrey, instead of being able to just keep running out here to the right, he's catching it, turning around with his feet having to stop to catch it. There's no chance for him to do anything with that one. He's not going to get the first down even with a good throw because the defender's right there. I don't think he's going to be able to beat him, but who knows? If you put that out in front of him and you're allowing McCaffrey to keep running to the sidelines, maybe he makes that guy miss. Who knows? But it's a little bit behind him. All right, so it's 24-14 now, and this is where things start to change. Fryer's offense starts to get into a rhythm. A little check down here to McCaffrey to open it up for a gain of 7. Solid pass protection up front again. He gets it out of his hands quick. That one they were running their flood route over there. They got a deep with an out, and then the shorter route, and he goes with the short. 2nd and 3, and this is that play that we talked about earlier, where they're going to bring this guy across, and typically this is a play that they usually run outside, but the nice little change up here is look at it cut up inside instead of getting it all the way to the edge and running that off the edge. They're running that right up the middle. And they're running it cut up the middle, but keep taking it out. Really like it. It's a nice little change of pace. Again, usually when that guy's streaming across, it means it's going to be an outside run. This time they block it up a little bit different, let him get upfield, that 98 get upfield just a little bit, and it basically becomes a little bit more of a trap over the tackle. And it's a really nice play, change up for them, and it's a nice gain for McCaffrey to open it up. 1st and 10 to 11 personnel, and just zips that thing in quick to Tyuk. It's a 2-man route over here on the right side. He's got the out with a little curl behind it. The flat defender goes to the you see the defender right there at the bottom of the 0 on the 40. He goes with the out, which opens up the curl, and he sticks it on Ayuk for a gain of 5. Second and 4, and this is another miss for Brock Purdy here. He's going to roll to his left, and he has George Kittle wide open down the. See him down there. He's kind of, again, this is another deep crosser for him. He's wide open. He takes a check down to McCaffrey, who does a nice job to pick up 15, kind of help bail him out. But this is a big play to George Kittle that's missed by the quarterback. So we've seen Kittle with some big numbers over these last couple of weeks, but it's here. Look at kind of the same, very similar to what we saw earlier. Running that over route, he's wide open. There's nobody within 10 yards in any direction of him. The only guy that's paying attention to him is the safety, who's 10 yards off of him, 8 yards downfield, and a couple of yards behind him still. This is a huge play to George Kittle, maybe even a touchdown if you take it. Instead, he makes the check down throw to McCaffrey. Again, they're going to score the touchdown on this drive. So in the sake of consistency, it's a miss, something that as a coach you want to fix. But at the same time, it's a positive play, and this drive is going to lead to a touchdown for the 49ers. Now that was a miss, but we're going to, in the play after this next one, we're going to get to a nice adjustment off of a miss from earlier in the game. So this is the toss out here to the left, and this is a bad call. They call holding on George Kittle. One reason they call holding here is because he puts the guy in the dirt. His hand's inside the whole time. He's blocking with one arm. He gets a little bit of help from Croft to get the engagement, and his arm is up inside, and the referee called. This is just a bad holding call. But it happens. I can say that and not get fined. The 49ers really can't. But look at that. He's on him. There's the help. There's no hold. He just takes his man to the ground. The block from Croft kind of gets him off balance, and he just puts him in the dirt. Anyway, so now we go to, so because of that, now it's going to be 1st and 20. And on 1st and 20, the 49ers go into 11 personnel. But this is the same play that the 49ers, if you remember back in the second possession, there was a check down to Christian McCaffrey for a gain of 6. And I told you that he missed Juwan Jennings on a curl route on that route. They come back to it here. They're in 11 personnel, so a little bit different personnel grouping. But it's the same thing. You get the outs from the receivers. You get the out over there you get the 2 receivers down to the left side. Look at the difference, that the hole there isn't between the corner and the receiver isn't any bigger. It's a little bit more wide in the middle, but that's, again, he misses this throw early in the game. They come back to it with the same play call. Kyle Shanahan says, we're going to run it again here. And this time he sticks it into the hole to Jennings for a gain of 18. So you have that logic because of the hold on Kittle. You pick that up right here with a gain of 18, and you're actually in a better second down position than you were on the previous play, I think. But that's just a really nice throw. He's got the arm strength. It's a really, really strong throw into the hole right there. Want to see him do that on the first one, though, too. It's very similar to something that Trey Lance did. If you go back to remember Trey Lance's start last year against Houston, he had a curl like that was wide open that he missed early in the game. He took off scrambling instead. on a third down, and they came back to it in the second quarter, right at the end of the second quarter, and that time he hit it. Same type of thing that we're seeing here with Brock Purdy on this drive. Now you get a run here to the left side from Ty Davis-Price. Really nice job of just bouncing off the tackles, keeping his feet moving, sliding over to the left, and being able to finally find a hole and get upfield. This is their counter play because they've got the two guys going over there. It's a little bit different than what they were doing earlier. This is more of a counter run. The Raiders do a really nice job of bottling that up. He's able to just keep going and bounce it. And then from there, now you get two more explosive plays. This is the play the 49ers scored on in Mexico City against the Arizona Cardinals. So they're going to have Davis-Price in the backfield with them. All of this is going to start off looking like zone to the left with the back next to him. You're going to see Juszczyk start to go. This is that look. Everything about this pre-snap says this ball's going to the left side. They've been doing this throughout the game, and then Juszczyk slams on the brakes. There's the fake on the run to the back, and comes out for a gain of 16. That's the touchdown. That's the play they ran for a touchdown against the Cardinals with Deebo Samuel, and they also ran it for a touchdown back in 2019 against Seattle. They run it a few times this season, and they really get a nice gain out of it here. But again, this all starts off looking like you're running zone to the left, and then it really becomes almost like a screen with the way that your linemen step left, and then everybody comes back to the right. It's a really nice play. And then from there, this is again, watch the offensive line. This is a touchdown by Christian McCaffrey. You're going to get blocks all across here. Look at the blocks by McCaffrey, by McGlinchey. If I can get to it. Sorry, guys. Let's just run it from this angle. But watch right here, watch the right side. You're going to get a really nice block by Tyler Croft. You're going to get a nice block out of McGlinchey. You're going to get a guard that's going to pull, that's going to help, and then you get a really nice block to finish it off downfield from 15. They just create a wall. So look at that. There's setting the edge, boom. Croft comes out, gets to that linebacker, upfield to the second level. Jennings has his man past the first down stick, and by the time that guy gets into it, it's too late. You got too much speed coming at you with McCaffrey, and it's into the end zone. So it's a really nice play from the 49ers. To Ayuk. Out here to the right side. Again, it's a flat with a slant behind it. And so you're reading that flat defender. That defender jumps the flat, which opens up the slant. Good job by Purdy to see that and hit it. It's not an overly complicated play design. First and 10 from here, and you get the you're going to try to run a screen out here to the left, and this is just a bad play by Spencer Burford getting upfield too soon. On the game broadcast, they talked about there being a little bit of a delay with getting it out there to him, but he needs to be coming. He's getting upfield, even if there is a delay with the backs, the quarterback and the running back. Burford is getting upfield too quickly here. He needs to keep bringing this thing down. See how he's already going upfield? If he's running his track correctly, he should be in between the other two linemen who are right now at around the 25. So he's just getting upfield too soon. Just the whole thing is out of whack, and so he's downfield, and it wipes out a nice play for McCaffrey here. Another play that they're going to come back to in the fourth quarter. So, and this is the final play of the second. We're still in the third. We still have a little bit of ways to go. But it comes off of that. So 1st and 15, I really like this. This is another explosive throw, explosive play. Basically, what you're getting is you're going to get Brandon Ayuk at the top of the screen. Watch what he does. He takes that corner and he takes that free safety and he just runs those two out of the picture, opens up the middle wide open for Juwan Jennings, and a really nice play by Brock Purdy here to get the ball out on time. He sees it happening in front of him and does a really nice job to hit Jennings on the crosser. Let me get right here. So again, watch. Ayuk runs it out, boom, and then as soon as the cut from Jennings starts to make his cut, the ball is out. It's on him, and he's able to get the ball up to midfield. Kyle Shanahan's feeling pretty good about things right now. So on 1st and 10, he goes with 11 personnel. He wants to try to open it up after this. But let's watch it one more time from the end zone view. Good pass protection up front. Allows those guys to get downfield, and that's just a really nice ball from Brock Purdy. It reminds me of Joe Montana to Jerry Rice in the Super Bowl. That view, that one play that they had on the game-winning drive when it's a throw over the middle. Not as open as that one was, but just the view looks very similar. So 1st and 10, they're going to roll him out, and this is a bad throw by Purdy. It's going to be the interception to George Kittle. This ball is just underthrown. You can tell by watch the path that George Kittle is taking. He's starting to take this thing up the middle of the field, and he has to flatten it out because the ball takes him over there. It's when this ball needs to be more down the middle. It's either down the middle or like just right inside that right hash is pretty much the area that Kittle's running to. Purdy just underthrows this ball. He gets out there, doesn't quite get his feet set. He's kind of falling away to his left a little bit, and that ball just comes out flat and across. It needs to be more down the middle of the field. And you can see how from that above angle, you can see Kittle's running like this, and all of a sudden he has to flatten it out because the ball's behind, taking him over there. No, he probably didn't see that guy, but regardless of that not seeing that guy, that ball still needs to be down the middle because that's where the route was. The play was designed to be thrown down the middle. That's where Kittle was running. But I got sense. Makes sense. So right after that, you have the 49ers are able to come up with their own interception. This is their first possession of the second half, and Danny Gray makes an appearance. They're going to run him on a jet sweep. You finally get to see Six making a play in a game when it matters, early on in a game when it's still in doubt. Nice gain of 9 there for Danny Gray. Good to see the rookie getting involved, and it's a good run to the edge. Does a nice job. Like it. Good to see him get out there. Just a little bit. If he maybe had been able to bubble it just a little bit, so he's taking that downfield more because he's got the speed to get that bubble. When you run the fly sweep, you don't want to be so flat. You want to get a little bit of a bubble so your track starts taking you up. Everything else about what he did was really good. Just would have liked to have seen him be able to get a little bit more of a bubble so he's running that thing up. And so when that man hits him, his momentum's taking him down the field. But a nice start to it, and then they run right up the middle here with McCaffrey, a nice little trap in the side for a gain of 5. See the nice block by 71 there to open it up. Going to run off left guard here. This is the zone to the left, kind of the lead zone, and just doesn't open up. But it's a nice gain of 3. And then you get a couple of deeper throws coming up from Purdy. You can look at this one to run a zone to the left, and needs to maybe get up on 44 a little bit better. That would be my coaching tip would be to try to get that up on 44 and follow him through the hole. But off of that now into 11 personnel on 2nd and 7, and they take the deep shot to Juwan Jennings, and the quarterback just needs to get this ball out in front of him. It should be caught. I mean, it's one of those. This ball's underthrown. Let's just say what it is. This ball's underthrown. That's why he's having to stop and jump, right? Because he's got his man beat. If this ball's out in front of him, it's a touchdown. He's beat right now. He's running. You see him have to stop, which is why the defender gets back into it. He's got the ball in his hands, but as he's going down, the defender's right there to knock the ball away. That ball needs to be out in front more. Get this thing out in front. Okay, so 3rd and 7, and they're going to do kind of the same thing to the other side now with George Kittle. You got Kittle and Jennings working together down here. Kittle's going to be running the deep route this time, and he's got to step on him. And again, the ball's underthrown and outside. This time it's outside. That ball needs to, again, you've got a receiver behind a defender, and you have the quarterback not making the throw. He's got to step on him here. He's got the room. You just need to put this ball out front and let Kittle continue to run. Instead, you throw it behind him and to the outside. Look where Kittle's running. Look where Kittle's running, and look where that ball falls. It's a bad throw. And so the 49ers end up kicking a field goal. But back-to-back deep, they try to take back-to-back deep shots, and the quarterback misses both of them. This is the one thing with Purdy. You know, we've seen him make some of these deep shots in the past, and these two were just two that weren't good balls. Tie ball game in the 4th quarter. I really like this play design. So we saw it earlier on in this game where they had Clelin Ferrell, the defensive tackle. Well, really quick before I get there, Craig T wants to know, is that rookie mistakes or something else? It's Brock Purdy just not making a good throw. There's been questions about his arm strength. Somebody had asked on Twitter yesterday about the arm strength compared to like Joe Montana, for example. And my response was that Joe Montana has a strong arm because that's a easy throw for Joe Montana. Montana could get the ball out there about 45 yards on the sideline. That was about a 25-yard throw both ways, and they're both underthrown. He's got to get that ball out in front of him more. It's lack of arm strength, not getting it out there where it needs to be. So we talked about Clelin Ferrell earlier, and so here the 49ers get him in a position where he's in coverage. See Clelin Ferrell out here on Ray McLeod, and now the 49ers show run away. Ferrell starts to go after it, and then you pull it out, and it's just a two-man screen, but really you just need to get the one-man block there, and down the field goes Ray McLeod. Again, watch the timing of this one and how pretty this play is. Fake, turn, throw, one block, and you're gone. That's Ray McLeod being Deebo Samuel. That's fantastic 49ers offense right there. From the end zone view, see Ferrell going out, and then they just everything about the Raiders chasing, and now you just got boom. You got one guy to beat, and there you go. And he's off to the races. And 99 does a good job of chasing him down, but he was already beat at that point. So 1st and 10, 12 formation. They're going to run this thing to the outside, to the right with McCaffrey. Just got to get a little bit better drop block right there. Looks like Kittle again. Run this thing to the outside out here. See what happens. Yeah, he's actually doing a pretty good job on 98, who is able to just get him twisted around with one arm. Foreigners in 21 formation or personnel. This is the play that they've run a lot, where this is a play that's been a big concept of theirs with Brock Purdy. This is the play the 49ers ran for a touchdown against the Seattle Seahawks, the deep touchdown to open up the second half to George Kittle, where you get the slant from the backside. You're going to get the little short curl from 15, the corner from the tight end, and then you get Juszczyk leading McCaffrey on a swing pass out here to the left. The slant's open, so he takes it. But again, look at George Kittle. Remember, George Kittle was wide open against Seattle. Look, it's there. That's the first read as the backside slant, and it's open. It's too bad for the Flyers that wasn't covered, because look at George Kittle on the corner. That's a touchdown. Another touchdown. And it's not a bad read. That's where the ball's supposed to go based on the progressions of this play. It's slant, curl, flat, corner as it goes through across. So the first guy's open for the Flyers. It would have been better if it was covered up, though, because they end up having to kick a field goal. First and 10, I still think this should be a touchdown to Tyler Kroft. You're going to get the toss fake. Right here, he's looking. Look at Kroft is wide open in the middle of the field, and he goes to the flat. I think the flat is the number one on the progression. I think he's just trying to look inside to kind of keep everybody in there and then hit the guy in the flat. But if we watch this you're going to see 13 get his head around. I think that's partly why you heard him talk about this on the broadcast. But see, he's looking there just for a second, and I understand that defender's there, but there's also 6 yards behind him and nobody there. That's a touchdown if he makes a throw. Instead, he goes to the short one and doesn't make a very good throw too. Ayuk for the incompletion. And then second and 10. And run this one to the middle too. It's a nice little run from McCaffrey for 6. To get it down to the 6 and make this thing 3rd and 4. And then he's going to throw this into a bunch of traffic on 3rd and 4. I agree with you, Dad. He didn't trust himself on that one. I agree. So then here on 3rd and 4, this is the one where it's all kinds of congestion. They're trying to bring they're going to get this thing to Kittle. They like to throw that out route, and this is a really good decision by him not to do it. You can see it. The Raiders are sitting on that out route to in the slot. They do a really good job of breaking on that. If that ball goes to Juwan Jennings, it's a pick 6 going the other direction. Really good job not to throw that and throw the next one in, and a really good job by the Raider defender to come across and knock it away. That's a good play by Brock Purdy not to throw the ball in there to Jennings, because that's a pick going the opposite direction. So really good eye discipline here from 13. Boom. Yeah, he sees it, goes back over the middle, and that's a really good play by that linebacker to be able to plant and come back across as well. All those defenders from the Raiders, what they're doing is they're pretty much just watching inside. There's not much room behind them, and the 49ers do so much of this kind of stuff where they run those little short routes like that. It's usually going to come into the middle. The Raiders are taking a chance, feeling that ball's not going to go into the corner right there. But they open up their next possession. 1st and 10, 21 personnel. You get quick pressure. Really nice job by Brock Purdy to save this play and get out of the box and throw it away. Again, this is one of those, it's an incomplete throw. So on the completion percentage, it doesn't look good. But in terms of the way that this game is flowing, this is a really nice play by 13. Guy's got a free rusher. The Raider guy's got to go back and try to find out where the guy went. So nice play to open that up, and then you get an explosive here. You're going to get a really nice one. You get a pressure coming from the Raiders. Are going to send Send 5. They're showing it ahead of time. There's the man coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rushers coming. And this is a really nice throw on the slant to Ayuk. Just gets it past the ear hole of that safety who's playing underneath linebacker. Watch this. Again, they're going to blitz. It's good job of picking up the pressure up front by the Friars offensive line. Purdy does a good job of sticking in there, and watch this throw right over the top of that. Look at that. The ball is right over the top of the hand of 33. Now Ayuk grabs it. It's a nice gain of 23 to open it up. Play action here. They're going to try to get it over. It's the same thing as what we saw earlier. Again, he throws this to again, this ball goes to George Kittle. Should be caught. He's got Brandon Ayuk behind him. But it's going to come out quick to the guy in the flat. But it comes out quick to him, but there's nobody around Brandon Ayuk at the second level. That sets up 2nd and 10. Let's watch it from here. Boom. That never gets to the middle. It's too much pressure to the middle. 2nd and 10 here, and the Raiders are going to show heavy pressure, and I really like this play from Brock Purdy. You get an unblocked defender right up the gut. The 49ers are trying to run a screen anyway. That guy's right in his face and is able to drop it off. And now that's the next part of this play that's so nice, is what Christian McCaffrey does on this. So really nice job by the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands earlier than he wants to on the screen, right? He wants to be able to draw back. He wants to get those guys up the field and get it to him. Well, the Raiders are showing pressure. They take that away. So now he's got to get the ball out of his hands quick. But that screws up the whole rhythm of the play, because look at where Christian McCaffrey is compared to his offensive linemen. Those linemen should be more over there when he catches the ball. But because of the pressure, Purdy's got to get his hands out, get the ball out of his hand quick. Now, this is where the patience comes in from McCaffrey. See him just kind of bide his time. He allows those guys to come over, and then you get that really nice kick out block by Daniel Brunskill up the field, run over another guy, run for another 15 yards after that. Just a really nice play really nice job by Brock Purdy to get the ball out of his hands. Really nice patience by McCaffrey to allow Daniel Brunskill to sprint across the field, dive into a Raiders defender, and spring him. Just a really nice play from both of those guys. It's a really nice football play from a guy that's been a starter for a while for the 49ers, and a new guy that's just a really good running back. And that's just a really nice play by Daniel Brunskill, and a really good job of allowing that to happen by McCaffrey. That patience to sit there, allow that guy to come across, and then jump up behind him instead of just catching the ball and running upfield before he gets there. It's a really nice job. And then the next play, going to run this thing off the left side, zone to the left, and it just opens up, and they don't get to – Jordan Mason's too strong. You're not going to stop him at that point. The Raiders are kind of late getting to the line of scrimmage. The Raiders are going to run this outside zone to the left with a lead. Outside, basically like a zone lead to the left. And he does a really nice job of following Kyle Juszczyk up into the hole, and then just runs it into the end zone. Really nice touchdown run by Jordan Mason. Give him a lot of kudos for that one. We're down to the final possession of the game. And wrap this bad boy up. We're almost done. Final drive, and they're gonna get a little bit of a break here. This was a ball that if this one's up, I think it's picked. This is basically the same play they ran earlier in the game. They ran it to Juwan Jennings, but Jennings I think this is Jennings running the deep route on this one. And you got the overcoming from Brandon Ayuk. Jennings just isn't able. I think this is Jennings down here. I don't know if that's Jennings or if that's Danny Gray. Whoever it is, that safety doesn't bite this time. He sits home, and so he's there to take it away. And luckily, the ball's a little short. Actually, it's Danny Gray. So they're trying to get Danny Gray to take the top off the defense. The safety on the back end doesn't buy it. He's like, he's not throwing the ball there. We've already seen this play out once before, and they get a little bit of a break there that the ball hits the ground first. But from there, things start to roll. 2nd and 10, still an 11, and you're going to get a completion down here to the bottom to Ayuk. Good job of getting upfield, sitting down on the slant. Nice gain of 12 to open up on 2nd and 10, give you the first down. Good protection up front. Look at that, puts it right on him. Now 1st and 10. And this is just a really nice throw. Tight coverage out there on Ayuk, and he's able to stick this one in there on that in route, on that in cut. It's a really nice ball from Brock Purdy. Guys all over Ayuk's back. That's a really nice catch. Really nice throw. And then this one here, 11 personnel, spread everybody out. I really like this one watching it live. You're going to get double slants on the right side, and he's going to pass up Ayuk's slant because Ayuk's taken away, and he puts it on the second one to McCaffrey. McCaffrey just doesn't hold on. But I really like that one. That first slant is taken away because of the linebacker is right there. You can see him going to blow him up. And so he takes it to the outside receiver, and he puts it right on Purdy, or Purdy puts it right on, and he just drops it. Puts it right on the back. That's a nice throw to McCaffrey. Should have been a big play. 2nd and 11. They're going to make it work here anyway with a throw to another slant. Quick slant to Ayuk for 11. To get it down to the 34. Again, really good protection up front. This ball comes out quick. Boom. That inside slant's the same play, but it's the other side. You got the double slants. That inside slant's taken. You get to the outside slant. Boom. Now here on 2nd and 10, the 49ers change it up a little bit. They bring in Kyle Juszczyk, and this they're trying to hit this thing. They're trying to score a touchdown right here and put this thing away. You get play action. And he's going to boot out here, and he's going to get hit as he throws. The ball just huge break for the 49ers. That ball just floats through the air. Ayuk still comes up with the catch, and they call on the field goal unit and miss it. But this one is a miss. The reason that this isn't a touchdown is because they missed the block from Daniel Brunskill. Watch Brunskill over here at left guard. He's going to pull across. He needs to get the end. He's off balance, falling as he gets over there. Isn't able to get a hand on him. You can see that George Kittle is wide open on the deep corner. This is another one. They're trying to get this ball to George Kittle, but he just falls down. And you look at Kittle's open. He gets hit, and they get a break. Ayuk makes the catch. They come out. They kick the field goal wide to the right. Just leaves it out there. Doesn't close the face of the club, and so the ball slides out to the right. Defense makes the play. The next series, and the first series in overtime, they get the field goal to win it, and there you go. So this is a good one. For me, when I look back at this game, I showed you a number of misses from Brock Purdy in this game. Also showed you a number of really good throws from him as well. For me, every question that people have asked about Brock Purdy so far, he's gone out there and he's answered it with an affirmative yes. Can he win close games? Yeah, he's against good teams. He's done that. Can he go on the road and beat teams in a hostile environment? Goes up to Seattle. He does that. Can he do it against Washington, this really tough Washington defensive front defense that's so tough on quarterbacks? Yeah, he can do it against Washington. Goes on, can Brock Purdy win a game where he's not in front the whole time? Can he bring the team back down 24-10? Yeah, he can do it. Does it on the road here. Leads them down the field, back, just right down the field a number of times. So he has some missed throws, but he also has a lot of good ones as well. So I thought it was a pretty good performance by Brock Purdy. I think the 49ers are in a really good situation moving forward. We'll see how it all works out for him, but everything right now seems to be trending in the right direction for them. I want to say thanks to everybody who took the time to watch this. If you guys can do me a favor before you log out, hit that like button for me. Like buttons are the likes are really what drive the viewership on YouTube. The more likes that our videos get, the more they get pushed out to other people as suggestions. So if you could do me a big favor, hit that like button. If you're watching this and you're already subscribed to the channel, hit the little subscribe button. And when you do that, hit the bell notification as well so that you get notified every time we go live. So like, subscribe, and then you can also become a member of the channel as well. So do those things if you could for me tonight. I really appreciate everybody that took an hour and 17 minutes out of their day-to-day to watch this and go through every offensive play for the 49ers against the Las Vegas Raiders, every play for Brock Purdy from his fourth start as an NFL quarterback. I appreciate everybody for taking the time. Greg, thank you so much for smashing that like button. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to y'all soon.